Hi, this is the Ivy League astrologer. I'm back um, with a tarot reading for Vedic Aries for December, for the remainder of December. Um, so here we go. So the first card out is the Magician. Which shows me that right now you are attentive to higher callings as well as earthly realities. And you're attempting to meld the two, to find the balance between the two, um, in order to begin something that could be infinite for you, or something that could be a long-term change or project. You're looking to bring together the forces in your life to make something that is sustainable for you. Something that brings not just bread to the table, but also spiritual food. Um, so whether you're doing that in work or in relationship, it looks like you're trying to bring together the various forces in your life to kind of heed the hidden or the ethereal, as well as the practical realities. Um, and as you're doing this, there's an element of giving in this and biding your time, patience, um, education, um, educating yourself maybe, and knowing that you don't quite know enough to fully go down this path yet, but that you're beginning it anyway. And I feel like you're taking your time about it. There's some internal kind of contemplation that comes along with this. But it's not just you. You're reaching out to other people as well, even as you're kind of um, working over these ideas for yourself. You're also sharing them with other people. Um, and you're sharing them with people who need them in some way, to whom they are valuable. Maybe there's a call here to do it from something outside of yourself, because again, I do feel like you're more aware of sorry, excuse me. I feel like you're more aware of a pull from the spiritual side of life. And then with the Hermit in reverse, it looks like maybe you're keeping a lid on your light in some way, keeping your light to yourself. Or maybe there's a sadness or a hurt that has got you kind of turned inward for now. Mm-hmm. It feels kind of like the path you're on is icy, is unhospitable. And maybe you've been on it for a long time and you just feel like, or you're just having moments this month where you feel like, is it not ever going to get better? Is it really always going to be this? So yeah, so there's a sense of sadness as well. But I think that there's hope there, and that maybe you know this even in your sadness, even as you're kind of having this, dark before the dawn moment. You know that there are new wings coming for you, that there's new hope, and that this is guided by a force larger than yourself. So maybe you just know that you're on the path of a spiritual lesson right now. Maybe you're a little bit tired of being on that path. There's also the Three of Swords in reverse. So that looks like a heartbreak or maybe a war for your heart. Different directions that your heart could go. But there's one that you know is better. But maybe that one that you know is better hasn't really presented itself yet. Maybe you're just kind of waiting for that singular sword of knowledge rather than these three cross swords that could go in different directions, could lead your heart in different directions, but you can't follow them all because that would tear your heart apart. I feel like it's really the feeling of it that is with you this month. Um, like maybe there's external events, but it's really more that you're aware of the state of your own heart. And that's good because that gives you power to decide what you want to do with your one wild and precious life. Um, yeah, so I see you kind of waiting to know what the right thing is. Um, I also see you setting off on a path um, that is new and exciting, that makes you feel it's sort of both confident and resigned. Sort of like, here I go. Like, sort of like, um, all right, guys, I'm doing this. I see you haters. I see you over there. Still doing it. And you know what? It's beautiful. It's what I am doing for me, and I am out now. Um, you're doing it with a flourish somehow, which is interesting. Um, somebody's happy about it. Somebody's cheering you on. Somebody's excited for you. It may just be a little voice in your head that's like, about time, let's do it, let's go. And off you go, dramatically. There's also a sense of celebration with the holidays this month that hopefully will happen for you. There's a sense of happiness and celebration, of coming together, of ripe fruits, of things coming to fruition. Um, yeah, maybe you have a toast to the completion of something. So maybe as you're starting off on this new path, there's this old thing that you're leaving behind. You're done with that, and you can go start something new. And maybe that's part of why you feel that kind of like haters, drink your haterade kind of feeling over here, is because you know that that people are talking, that people are aware of what you're doing, but you just don't care. And you do have people around you that also that support you. So, um, and then there's the Chariot in reverse, which is kind of looking to me like there may be a conflict um, in like a romantic relationship, whether that's your romantic relationship or someone else's. It could be your parents. It could be, you know, friends. But it seems like there are people at odds with one another, and neither of them feel great about it. And in fact, maybe one person knows that it's really their fault, but is still turned away from that truth or from sharing that truth with other people. Um, so there's a sense of being at odds, um, or of a couple being at odds and keeping to themselves. There's certainly that energy between them. Both of them know it. They carry it inside. But for now, they're just maintaining kind of their poker faces. Maybe this is if you're at a holiday celebration with people who are divorced or separated or having conflict and they've come together for the holidays of being on their best behavior, but there's a lingering sense that something's not right, or of sadness or hurt, old hurts. Um, so, but that seems sort of like a stasis situation. So it may weigh heavily on you just knowing that that's out there, but it seems like it's maybe something that's not really, there's maybe not a lot of action about it this month. Maybe there's a promise of a way forward with this as well. Maybe there's a promise that it may not always stay this way, but maybe it's, maybe both parties are kind of aware of that possibility, but they're not ready to take it yet. They're not yet quite ready to grab onto that. There's also a sense of waiting or maybe receiving something that you've been waiting for and being sort of nonplussed by it. That, maybe this is something that you've been waiting for maybe a long time. And an emotional thing, some kind of emotional news or resolution. And it comes and you're sort of like, really? Is that the best you could do? Okay, all right. Yeah, there's a sense of you maybe finally being able to see beyond something that has blocked your view for a long time. Like a way you thought the world was, you're seeing this month is not the way it is. And that is freeing. That allows your water to kind of run into the water beyond, which is the real water. That's like the ocean or like some other undeniable fact, but that you have been shielding yourself from in some way for a long time. So there may be a bit of a breakthrough this month in emotional matters, in regards to emotional things, and it may have to do with some news that you receive or communication that you receive that you feel like, I just can't even believe that this is what I waited all this time for. I don't even know what to do with that. Because, yeah, maybe in your mind you have painted this situation to be kind of the end all be all, or like just more than it could ever even offer. Like it's really like a very thin kind of thing, but to you, maybe it seemed to have this richness that maybe other people never thought it had and never could see in it, but it's something that has been very alive for you in your mind. And this month, you are seeing past that and into some wider waters, which, that might be painful, but it seems to me kind of like a relief, honestly. Like, yeah, your water gets to flow back into the water of intuition, of right intuition, right reasoning, of healing, of, kind of God's plan for you. So it seems like maybe you are getting closer to that this month. And there's less sort of attempt to preserve something that is a screen. Yeah. And again, with this final card, the Queen of Swords in reverse, maybe that means that you are less insistent about something you've been insistent about. Less determined to have it your way. Yeah. You may not, it's like you can let go, but you may not know where it's going. But you can kind of stop claiming to be, you can kind of stop claiming to be all-seeing, all-knowing. Stop claiming to be like, no, I really have the final word on this, because you realize that you don't. And that's actually healthy. And that's actually, maybe embarrassing, or maybe, not what you would have liked, but it's the beginning of a breakdown that can be a breakthrough, into real stuff, into stuff that's going to help nourish you and feed you and grow things, rather than this kind of stasis, which may have felt like stability. May not even have felt like stability. It may have just felt like waiting for stability. But you realize that the road that you were on is not the road to stability. That's what I feel like about it. The road that you were on is not the road to stability, although you thought it was. So now you're kind of released into a wider forum in which you can actually kind of feel out what that might be. So, yeah, it looks like you're taking control. But it's a let go, let God kind of control is what I would say, rather than an I know the way, I'm doing it this way because that is the way. It's sort of a like, yeah, it's a time of letting go and trusting in the next steps. So I hope that was helpful. Post in the comments and please let me know if that resonated with you. As I said, I'm just starting out, so I would love to hear your feedback. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your month and new year. Thanks.